Hey there, Gray Elementary students. It's Miss Watts, and I'm going to be working on some basketball style dribbling skills with you. This is for 4th and 5th grade students, but if you find that you're pretty good at basketball style dribbling skills, then even in 2nd and 3rd grade, you might be able to get some of these challenges. All right, so you're gonna need a ball that bounces. Since you are at home and you don't have the resources that we have at school, any ball that bounces is okay. So if you have a basketball, that's great. A lot of people like the feel, the weight of a basketball for basketball style dribbling skills for a reason. If you have a playground ball, that will work. If you have a soccer ball that bounces, then that will work. All right, so go and get that ball, come back, and be ready to learn some skills, practice some skills, get better at some skills. All right, see you soon. All right, before we get started, just a little bit of the history on basketball. It's one of PE teachers' favorite units to teach because it is super engaging, but it was also created by a PE teacher. A Canadian PE teacher, so shout out to the Canadian PE teachers out there. But who happened to be in Springfield, Massachusetts. And it was developed as a safer alternative to football. So it didn't require helmets and pads and a lot of other things that are expensive or take a lot of time to put on and take off. And that could be played indoors. Of course, up north it's a lot cooler, and so they needed an alternative from being outside in the cold, wet snow. The first game was played using a soccer-like ball. It was more like a soccer ball that had a bounce to it, and it was played with peach baskets. So peach baskets, which we don't have, but I pointed this out for our 2nd and 3rd graders last week. We do have peach blooms. This is the great state of Georgia, and of course we have peach trees and peach blossoms everywhere right now because it is springtime. So they took those peach baskets, they put them up in the gym. Eventually they got smart and they cut off the bottom of the basket so they didn't have to get a ladder to get the ball out every time somebody made a basket. So we're going to be a little bit resourceful today. You're going to use whatever ball you found, whatever ball you have, and we're going to get to work. All right. For those of you interested, you can always go on and look for some resources on the history of basketball. This is a wonderful picture from Wikipedia with some general information. Thought about it, and back when in 1891 they actually didn't have to wear a lot of protective equipment in football, but there were definitely a lot of injuries because of it. But basketball was definitely developed as a safer alternative and didn't require a lot of extra expensive equipment. Still today it's one of the easiest games to play and get a pickup game started. So great game, can be played in a lot of different places. Hey everyone, hopefully you had not too hard of a time finding a ball that bounces. Here we have my handy dandy helpers. This is Jacob with his ball. All right, this is Mallory with her ball. And there is Lucas with his ball. Now, I know you might be too cool for it, but I still like to name the equipment, develop a relationship with my equipment. And this ball right here is something I've had since high school. So if you take your age and you multiply it by 2, that is how old this ball is. Isn't that amazing? And it's a soccer ball, so I'm using what we have, dusting it off. There we go. And let me think, I haven't named it even though I've had it for so long. Let's call it Garrison, because it's great, Garrison. Lucas, what's the name of your ball today? Chonarin. Jacob, do you have a name for your ball? Like I said, too cool for it. Mallory? No. All right. The first thing we want you guys to do is to get your ball, get oriented with it. Whereas 4th and 5th grade, you guys know if you have any dribbling experience at all, you use your finger pads. So the pads of your fingers that touch the ball, the pads right here, are going to be contacting the ball. If you contact the ball with the middle of your hand, you are slapping the ball. That is mean, that is not nice, don't do that. And so you're going to just be pushing with those finger pads with enough force so the ball comes back up to you, okay? So if you're pushing with your finger pads, the ball is coming back to you in a very nice way. If you're slapping at it using the middle of your hand, it is harder to control, probably using too much force, and it's just not nice, so don't do that. So the first thing you need to do, get your ball, dribble, push, 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 push. All right, so your first task is to push the ball using your dominant hand to medium level, so waist level or so. And then if you can, go ahead and move that over to your non-dominant hand. All right, so that's gonna look something like this. Okay, Lucas, you wanna show them your best? Can you push, push, push? Woo! And Jacob. All right, so for about a minute to 3 minutes, dribble medium level, dominant hand, non-dominant hand, and then check us out again. All right, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna dribble from your dominant hand, the hand you like to use, to your non-dominant hand, the hand you don't like to use as much, back and forth, just kind of getting warmed up. It's gonna look something like this. And this. All right, now you try. See you in a minute. All right, next step is to dribble at different levels. So you're gonna start dribbling at a high level, then a medium level, and then a low level. So high is about your head, then waist level, and then low level. So start high, go low, then work your way back up. That's gonna look something like this. Or this. All right, get started, see how it goes. All right, so anything you do on one side, you need to do on the other. So I'm sure you started with your dominant hand. So now you want to take that to your non-dominant hand. High level, medium level, low level. All right, that's gonna look something like this. All right, you try. See you in a minute. All right, so now you want to try a crossover at a high, medium, and low level. Okay, crossover that goes from your dominant hand to your non-dominant hand. You're going to add those levels. So high, medium, high level, medium level, waist, low level, near your feet. All right, ready? Gonna look something like this. All right, you try. See you in a minute. All right, so if you have done all those warm-ups really well, you're ready for a challenge. So this time what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the ball and you're gonna dribble it clockwise around your body. So let me show you a little diagram. So clockwise, of course, means going with the hands, the movement of the clock, going around, okay? So I'm gonna show you a little diagram that we put on the ground for you to see. Okay, clockwise is purple and counterclockwise is green. So if you were standing at a hoop, you're gonna take that and you're gonna go around to the right side of your body first, and then it'll go behind you, and then back around up to your left hand. All right, so that will look like this. Alright, so if you got that clockwise, then now your goal is to go counterclockwise around. Take the ball and see if you can get it to go counterclockwise. I'm going to show you the diagram again. Of course, counterclockwise is in the green. And hopefully you can see that. I can't see with the sun. Okay, counterclockwise. Okay, like a counter argument is against another argument. To counter something is to show an opposite version or side to it. So counter means the opposite, or against. So against clockwise is counterclockwise. Try that now. Alright guys, so I'm sure that when you were dribbling the ball clockwise and counterclockwise around your body, you found that when the ball went behind you, you had a hard time getting it to meet your other hand on the other side. So I'm going to show you how to improve that. When you go to push the ball behind you, if you'll do one bounce and take a step forward, that will help you get control of the ball with your other hand. So once again, you're going to try to do one bounce, so you're going to push the ball not on top, but slightly on the side, so it bounces over to your hand. And when you do that, you're also going to take a step forward, okay? So you're going to push the ball slightly to the side, whatever direction you're going, and you're going to take that step forward so the ball doesn't run into your backside. All right, so that'll look a little something like this. We had a casualty to today's lesson. This poor ball right here just popped and scared all of us to death. But using old equipment sometimes has consequences. But rest in peace, 20-year-old soccer ball. A lot of physical activity. Gonna miss this guy.